A Nigerian Air Force helicopter crashed in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, on Friday morning. NAF spokesman Edward Gapquet confirmed the development in a statement. He said all those on board survived, though they sustained minor injuries and have been attended to at NAF Medical Center in Port Harcourt. The helicopter with the number NAF MI35P crashed at exactly 7:45 a.m. shortly after it took off for an operation against economic saboteurs in River State. In the meantime, the Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has presented 703 billion naira before the State House of Assembly for the year 2024 fiscal year tagged Budget of Sustained Growth and Development. According to him, capital expenditure is expected to go 416 billion, while the recurring expenditure attracts 287 billion, with emphasis on the completion of all ongoing projects: security, critical roads infrastructure development, human capital development, education, among other specifics. While seeking the cooperation and understanding of other arms of government, residents of the state, he however asked for support to ensure the success of the budget.
Education is being allocated 109 billion, 209 million and 62,000, representing 60% of the budget. Health is being allocated 81 billion, 185 million and 60,000, representing 12% of the budget. Housing, 28 billion, 886 million, 43,000, representing 4% of the budget. Agriculture and food security, 14 billion, 213 million and 3,000, representing 2% of the budget. Infrastructure, 209 billion, 122 million and 60,000, representing 30% of the budget. Recreation and recreation culture, 22 billion, 872 million, 69,000, representing 3% of the budget.
In the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says gunmen have attacked the residence of its resident electoral commissioner REC in Lokoja, Kogi State. The commission, in a communique, said the attack happened around 3:30 a.m. on Friday, December 1st, adding that the incident occurred a day after a mob besieged INEC office in the state. It noted that the armed men engaged security personnel in a gun battle for over 30 minutes until reinforcement arrived. The commission called for a thorough investigation and enhanced security protection for its personnel and assets in Kogi State. Police in the state has confirmed the attack. The State Commissioner of Police, Bertrand Onoha, who confirmed the attack in Lokoja on Friday, described the incident as very unfortunate and wicked. The Kaduna State Police Command has arrested 8 persons for their alleged involvement in kidnappings and armed robbery in various parts of the state. The spokesman of the command, Mansur Hassan, said the suspects were arrested by security operatives in their hideout in Nuba Farm. In a Thursday statement, he said preliminary investigation reveals that the suspects were responsible for the kidnapping of the organizing secretary of the All Progressives Congress in Kaduna, Kawiya Kasai, at Suba local government area on August 25th, and another victim, Adamu Muazu, recently. The police spokesman identified the suspect as Bello Suleiman, Ismail Abubakar, Usman Suleiman, Umar Suleiman, and Isa Lawal, all from Farinkasa village in Suba local government area of Kaduna State. Others were Abubakar Bello, Ibrahim Muazu, and Umar Suleiman. Hassan also disclosed that the leader of the kidnapping syndicate, Wan Hanazwa, is at large and is being trailed by security agencies, while the arrested suspect will be arraigned in court upon completion of the investigation. In another development, the Borno State NSCDC command has arrested 13 suspects engaged in illegal miners, impersonation, vandalism, and employment scammers. The NSCDC said 2 suspects were arrested for possession of metal scraps known as ajakuta and 3 suspects for military and police impersonation, and other suspects for illegal mining and job recruitment scam. Exhibits recovered from the suspects include metal scraps, machetes, fake identification cards, among others. The Borno State Commandant Musa Farouk said the suspects, after undergoing a thorough investigation, will be prosecuted according to the law.
The command arrested within some locations of the state some illegal miners engaged in excavating and stealing some mineral resources, which of course belongs to government and our own collective patrimony. These guys are so concerned about their own welfare to the detriment of all of us here. Accordingly, therefore, we'll provide them and present them before the law. Other crimes. Impersonation. We've arrested few young men here, among the group over there, paraded themselves to be military officials, policemen with various ID cards, and parading themselves as officials of the military, the police force. We are going to package them to the various agencies concerned to further verify their statuses and deal with them as appropriate.
In a sad development, fire engulfed a duplex at 3 Markel, Ogun Street, GRA Ikeja, Lagos on Friday, destroying 5 rooms in the building. According to a statement by the Director, Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Margaret Adeseyi, the fire incident happened around 4:11 a.m. She said the incident occurred on the upper floor of a duplex building used as a residence. Adeseyi, however, said the fire, which originated from one of the rooms, was successfully confined to the upper floor and was subsequently extinguished. The Lagos Fire Service Director added that the collaborative response from the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service and the Nigerian Police underscores a steadfast commitment to public safety. She said that in light of this incident, the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service emphasized the importance for residents to maintain vigilance and prioritize fire safety measures within their homes, adding that continuous updates on the ongoing investigation will be disseminated as new information becomes available. Now, intergenerational dialogue plays a pivotal role in fostering understanding and bridging gaps between different age groups. These dialogues promote empathy and help break down stereotypes that may arise from these generational differences. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo was involved in one of those conversations of recent, pointing out that through shared experiences, diverse perspectives and mutual learning are created. Dr. Yakubu reports.
The exchange of ideas between older and younger individuals contributes to a more comprehensive understanding of societal changes and cultural shifts. The need for individuals of different age groups to participate and take responsibility for their own lives and for making a difference in the world is essential for nation building.
Get an opportunity like this as a young man or woman, pay rapt attention. Pay rapt attention, take notes, and be able to understand what leadership is about. In the course of that discussion, we talked extensively about our nation, the younger generation, and the future of our country. That is why, as young people who hold the future of our nation, we must consider this particular event an intergenerational dialogue, one that is critical at this stage.
Also speaking, former President Olusegun Obasanjo stressed the need for collaboration between different age groups in Nigeria for shared prosperity and nation building.
Whether in the military, the private sector, the diplomatic world, politics, wherever you may choose, but leadership is very important. And the principles are basically the same. Basically the same. Point is, be a leader, and a good leader. You must have certain characteristics, certain attributes. Knowledge is good enough, good rather, but not enough. How honest are you? How diligent are you? What is your level of integrity? What values do you stand for? What can we say about you? A man of compassion, a woman of compassion.
He added that in order for Nigeria to be better, Nigerians have to believe in the governance system of the country.
History must come consideration when we start considering our dream. Culture must come into it. Values must come into it. What I call common desires and human commonality.
Intergenerational dialogue serves as a powerful catalyst for understanding, unity, and cultural preservation. By embracing the richness of diverse perspectives across generations, there's a future for a more inclusive and interconnected society. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Stakeholders at a public hearing organized by the House Committees on Works, Environment, Farmer and Justice have all endorsed the idea of using concrete cement for the construction of roads in the country as against asphalt. This followed an intense debate by stakeholders which include construction companies, the Federal Ministry of Works as well as Farmer, amongst others. Report.
The Chairman, Committee on Works, Akin Alabi, set the tone for the discussion as hinged his argument on the importance of road infrastructure for the economic growth and development of the country.
What is even more concerning is that in some ongoing projects, the work on site is not proportional to the funds allocated to them. There is no doubt that we all must come together to chart a new course for our country if we want to ameliorate the sufferings of the masses. That is why the issue of adopting concrete technology for road construction must be subjected to a thought process to ensure value for money. Hence, this public hearing has become a necessity.
In their responses, most of the stakeholders endorsed concrete, as argued by representatives of the Minister of Works and Director, Highways Construction and Rehabilitation, Adedamola Kuti. They said, apart from concrete roads being cheaper, they are also more durable.
In Nigeria today, we have, if I'm permitted to say, we have two companies in Nigeria that supply 80% of bitumen that is being sold to contractors. And number one is Gordon Bitumen, seconded by Aska Bitumen, which is also, ably represented here today. So, this, our whole notion today is to tell you and assure you that the bitumen that is being circulated in Nigeria is duly certified by NMDPRA and it is in line with the specification given by the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing.
In a related development, the House Committee on Farmer had an interface with the Managing Director and members of the board who also emphasized the importance of good roads and the need for Farmer to cover itself in glory. In his response, the Managing Director called for more sources of funding for the agency to deliver fully on its mandate.
Please note that the successful implementation of this 14 legislative agenda and strategic action plan we have a far-reaching benefit for Nigerians. It will lead to improved road infrastructure, enhance transportation connectivity, and facilitate economic growth.
We believe that there's a lot to learn from road agencies from other countries. So to date, we have partnership with the SANRA, which is a South African National Road Agency. We have an MOU with them on road-related matters. We have a collaboration with the Namibian road authorities. Namibia currently has the best roads in Africa. We're also trying to forge relationships with the National Highways Authority of India, which we've already started talking to.
He said the agency is prepared to cooperate with the House Committee to serve the country optimally.
This is Trust TV News Update. Coming up ahead. Osun residents seek end to sexual and gender-based violence. Details of that and more after the break. Please stay with us.
The famed giant of Africa is battling an identity crisis with severe economic downturn.
We have seen during Shagari, fall of Naira, but Babangida's time was historic. It was unprecedented.
The Nigerian economy has been in steady decline. No growth and a sharp drop in production makes matters worse.
The more you push your economy to get integrated into the global market economies, the more you increase the use of dollar.
How did we get here?
We have been working every nook and cranny, running helter-skelter, trying to seek dollar so that we can also meet with the demand of our people.
And the same Nigerians will turn around and say, CBN should supply dollar into the market, or government should supply. Where are you going to supply from?
As the value of the Naira plummets, is obsessive comparison with the dollar helping matters?
Once people believe that the currency cannot retain its value, they find alternative ways of savings.
Why is the Naira on a free fall? And what are the solutions? Journey with us back in time to where it all began.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. And here is a recap of some of our top stories. NAF helicopter crashes in Port Harcourt. And gunmen attack INEC resident electoral commissioner in Kogi. Now to other stories. Saudi Arabia, Russia and other major oil-producing nations on Thursday announced that they will further slash production next year in an effort to prop up volatile prices. But prices dropped right after the meeting, with analysts saying the market had expected more from the 13-member organization of the petroleum exporting countries, OPEC, and its 10 partners. Following the virtual meeting of OPEC ministers, Riyadh announced it will extend its voluntary oil production cut off 1 million barrels per day until March 2024. Moscow said it will slash oil exports by 500,000 barrels a day, up from 300,000 barrels a day so far until March. Following the tough talks, Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Algeria and Oman will also make smaller cuts, OPEC said in a statement. In another development, residents of Osun State on Thursday held a public rally in Osogbo, the state capital, to seek an end to the abuse of the rights of women and children. The event was part of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which commemorate the annual International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Hamid Oebadi, filed in the report.
Globally, from 25th of November to the 10th of December every year, 16 days are dedicated to various activities aimed at eradicating violence against women. In Osogbo, Osun State residents staged a walk from the Freedom Park to Osogbo Grammar School to raise awareness about the campaign.
The religious leaders, we need to come around, and our imams and our other priests have to put more effort to sensitize our members on the need for us to stop violence sexual and gender-based violence. No way a woman would want to upset you. A woman would do everything to want you to be angry, but no matter how angry you are, you need to know that beating a woman is not an option. A woman beater is less a human. You have women as your mother, as your sister, as your auntie, as your wife. So treat them well. There is nowhere a man is going without the input of women. We are here on the planet Earth to respect ourselves and to complement our efforts in life.
Uzoma Ayodeji, who spoke on behalf of the United Nations organ, UNFPA, charged Osun State government to strive to achieve 0% gender-based violence by 2030.
We are sensitizing the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, all the community leaders, the stakeholders to ensure that gender-based violence, violation of the rights of women and girls is eradicated in Osun State.
Secondary school students who participated in the rally said they were educated on the negative consequences of gender-based violence and the need to eradicate it from the society. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
And now on the international scene, Guinea-Bissau National Guard soldiers freed 2 government officials who had been questioned by police on Thursday night before exchanging gunfire with special forces, according to military and intelligence sources. Economy and Finance Minister Suleiman Saidi and Secretary of State for the Treasury Antonio Montero had been summoned by the judiciary on Thursday morning and taken into custody. Police questioned the 2 officials for several hours about a withdrawal of $10 million from state coffers. According to the same sources who spoke on condition of anonymity for security reasons, lawmakers had questioned Saidi about the withdrawal during National Assembly session on Monday. He claimed that the withdrawal was legal and intended to support the national private sector. Members of the National Guard took Saidi and Montero to an unknown location on Thursday night before seeking refuge in the barracks in the southern Santa Luisa district, the sources said. The AFP journalist saw members of the Guinea-Bissau Stabilization Support Force deployed to the country by the Economic Community of West African States patrolling the streets of Bissau on Friday morning. Still on the international scene, fighting resumed in Gaza on Friday immediately after the expiration of a week-long truce between Israel and Hamas, with the first fatalities reported minutes later. According to health officials in the Palestinian territory, at least 14 Palestinians were killed and dozens more were injured in the Israeli strikes during the first 2 hours since the truce in Gaza expired. Ashraf Al-Qidra, the spokesman for Gaza's health ministry, said on Friday. According to the ministry's Telegram account, an AFP TV live cam showed a heavy cloud of grey smoke rolling over northern Gaza and apparent sounds of automatic weapons, fire and explosions within the first 90 minutes after the truce expired at 0500 GMT. An hour before the truce was set to end, Israel said it intercepted a rocket fired from Gaza, and Hamas-affiliated media reported sounds of explosions and gunfire in the Palestinian enclave. The 7-day pause, which began on November 23rd and was extended twice, had allowed for the exchange of dozens of hostages held in Gaza for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and facilitated the entry of humanitarian and into the enclave. And finally, on sports news, Rafael Nadal has confirmed he will return to competitive tennis at the Brisbane International after almost a year out with injury. The former world number 137 has been out of action since injuring his hip flexor in a second round defeat at January's Australian Open. He has previously said he plans to retire at the end of the 2024 season. The Brisbane International will help Nadal prepare for the Australian Open, the first major of the year, which Nadal won in 2009 and 2022. The Australian Open starts on 14th January. In another sports news, Rivers United have arrived in Ghana for the CAF Confederation Cup Match Day 2 clash against Dreams FC. The former Nigeria Premier Football champions arrived at the Kotoko International Stadium on Friday morning after departing the Murtala Mohammed International Airport on the same day. Rivers United will trade tackles with Dreams FC at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium on Sunday. Stanley Egoma's side defeated Academica Petrolas Lobito of Angola in a match-day 1 fixture last week in Oyo. Dreams FC lost 2-0 away in Tunisia to Club African. And with that, we have come to the end of the Trust TV News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.